Parent Protect's vast online library includes videos and guides on topics like parental control, social media, AI, and more. Plus, their experts keep pace with the developing digital trends, alerting families to new and emerging dangers on their child's device. It's all part of JWB's Children's Mental Health Initiative aimed at protecting children and instilling a sense of well-being and belonging. Our history, on this very historic day, I should say, JWB stands shoulder to shoulder with our sheriff, local law enforcement, Pinellas County Superintendent of Schools, and a host of committed partners we've engaged to join us in this initiative. In addition, our U.S. Senators and our House of Representatives have vigorously voiced their support through videotaped messages and letters that we'll share with you after this event. On this historic day, we urge Pinellas County parents and grandparents and concerned adults to take 5 minutes and log on, create an account, and start with JWB/Parent Protect website. Create a free online account and start accessing videos, how-to guides, conversation starters, and more. Your free annual subscription provided courtesy of the JWB Pinellas County, puts expert information, resources, and advanced information at your fingertips, and keeps children safe online. We also invite everyone, whether you have a kid, to help us spread the word. Join our efforts and safeguard children, support families, and strengthen our community. Online predators possess an imminent threat to our county's children. Empower your families today with expert protection from JWB and Parent Protect. Sheriff Gualtieri will now share why this is an important game changer for law enforcement.
Thanks, Mike. Good morning, everybody. As we know, technology is a great thing. It's an indelible part of our community, of our culture, who we are. We're never going back, and we're going to continue to move forward. But it's really, really important that those who are the responsible caregivers, and whether it is parents, grandparents, foster parents, people, it doesn't matter, anybody that's responsible for kids, that they do their part, and that is to make sure that what these kids are doing with their devices and with the apps and all of the online environment, that they're doing it in a way that is not detrimental to the kid. These kids are vulnerable, especially the young kids, and a lot of them don't even know what they're getting into until they get into it, and then they find out that they're in deep trouble for a whole host of reasons. And it can be cyberbullying, or it could be that they're the victim of a child sexual predator and offender, and it could be a whole host of other things that we see every single day. The environment that we live in, unfortunately, is one that is full of vulnerabilities for these kids. Think about this for a second, is that just in Pinellas County alone, just in our county alone, one of 67 counties in Florida, we have 1,800 sexual predators and offenders that the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office monitors every day. That means there's 1,800 registered predators and offenders out here in the community that have done bad things in the past that we have to keep an eye on and that are out there. And unfortunately, these people do reoffend, and there are new offenses occurring every day in the online environment. And where this starts often is with people viewing child pornography. And once they view that child pornography, then it builds from there, and they begin reaching out and contacting kids and grooming kids, and then they have contact, and before you know it, we have a really, really bad situation. Just this year alone, just the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, never mind all of these other law enforcement agencies that operate in Pinellas County and what they're doing as well. Just in the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, we're on track this year to conduct over 100 child pornography investigations involving over 1,000 counts of child pornography where people have obtained, file shared, viewed all of this child porn. And when I'm talking about this child porn, the absolute majority of it, I'm not talking about, and it's bad, I'm not talking about 15 and 16-year-olds. I'm talking about people who are viewing child pornography of 5 and 6-year-olds. And some of the most grotesque things that you would ever hear of. So there's people out there that are using this environment to prey on the kids. And it is important that the caregivers, parents, grandparents, family members, that they do their part. Florida has done its part, and HB 3, House Bill 3 passed the Florida legislature, and Governor DeSantis signed it into law back in 2024. It took effect this year in January 2025. It was challenged in the courts, and most recently, in the last few weeks, the federal appellate court has upheld the law, and it prohibits kids who are under 14 from having their own accounts. It requires kids who are 15 and up to have parental permission to have their accounts. But are the parents who are giving those kids permission, are they really monitoring? Do they really know? And that's where something like Parent Protect comes in, because parents need to be educated about this. Parents really don't know what they don't know about what's going on in this environment. So something like Parent Protect is going to give the parents the tools to do their job, to help us help them and keep their kids out of these environments that we talk about, and what I'm talking about here with the predators and offenders and the child porn and all the online environment and all the solicitations and all the stuff that goes on, unfortunately, every day. And we see a lot of vulnerability among the kids. So I think Parent Protect is a great opportunity for the caregivers to educate themselves and do the right thing and make the right decisions as far as their kids are concerned. So many thanks to JWB for funding this and for bringing Parent Protect to Pinellas County, and to help the parents and those caregivers help their kids. So we wholeheartedly support the use of Parent Protect.
Good morning. I'm Pinellas County School Superintendent Kevin Hendrick, and to emphasize what Mike and the sheriff talked about, we need to see our parents and our caregivers with the resources and tools to help. So as you just heard, this initiative strengthens the community's commitment to safety and well-being of our children. It also aligns directly with House Bill 379, which required school districts to promote digital citizenship and support the priorities of JWB's Health and Human Services Board. While Pinellas County Schools provides a comprehensive digital responsibility curriculum to our children, we recognize that there are not a lot of resources for our parents, and that's where Parent Protect steps in. We look forward to sharing these essential components, the knowledge and tools, to give parents the opportunity to help educate at home, just as we educate at school. Parent Protect offers parents and caregivers clear, up-to-date information on the technology that children use each and every day, along with practical conversations to help start conversations with students designed to give families a safe, responsible, and healthy way to discuss technology. The partnership reinforces our own belief that education doesn't stop in school, but it continues everywhere. And as you heard Mike say, especially in times when school is out of session, like we're about to see here in a few weeks, where children will be on technology more frequently, but also parents have the opportunity to step up and educate in a different way. So our commitment, like other partners that you see here today, is full and complete, and we look forward to pushing out these resources to the parents that we serve and encourage everyone in the community to do so as well. And so to hear from Parent Protect and some of those resources, we'll bring up Ashby.
Good morning. Humbled to be in a room with a group like this. My name is Ashby Green. I'm here as both a C-level officer of Parent Protect and maybe more importantly, a parent to 2 school-aged children in Pinellas County. Parent Protect offers actionable safety guidance, parental controls, and education aimed at real-world online behavior of children and teens. We emphasize safety, awareness, and proactive preventative measures, and have a strong tech platform with creative geniuses that are constantly updating our content. The best part is that we make tech simple. Our site is filled with easy to digest content, how-to guides, and tips designed for adults who aren't tech experts. We hear all the time from parents and grandparents from all walks of life how approachable and consumable the content is. One of our strongest assets is the community of parents and caregivers who pose real-time questions and give real-world feedback. This allows us to be dynamic and responsive with our content that we update regularly based upon this feedback. A recent example has to do with AI companion risks. After receiving significant feedback from our partner organizations about students using AI chatbots as emotional companions and relationship substitutes, and the alarming rise in nationwide across the nation where these tools have encouraged self-harm and advised children to hide things from their parents, Parent ProTech has released new safety content for these families. This material is now live on our platform and equips parents with practical guidance to both understand the risks and support their children's needs in navigating this AI responsibly. In addition, and as trafficking continues to rise, as you hear it all throughout this presentation, Parent ProTech has partnered with A21 to develop powerful, age-appropriate anti-trafficking resources for both parents and children. This new content is now fully available on our platform and represents one of our major focuses for us as we work to help families navigate the deeply concerning issues with confidence and awareness. We're extremely thankful for the Juvenile Welfare Board team for this opportunity, and we're excited that once again, starting today, because of the relationship that's been developed with JWB, we're offering a free to everyone, caregivers, grandparents, concerned citizens, annual subscription to Parent ProTech. You can find this annual subscription on the QR code behind me, as well as the web link, which is app.parentprotect.com/JWB. You simply have to enter your name, email, and zip code. And if you do, although it is optional, provide other information such as your phone number or your child's age, we'll be able to customize and offer a better experience for you with additional data. But again, it is optional. You create your username, your password, and then you're off to starting to access the latest digital safety resources that we've made available. JWB has been a pleasure to work with, and hats off to their ability to convene such a great group of committed partners in such a short period of time. This really speaks to the community's trust and commitment to JWB's work and mission. We'll now open up to questions.
It's really difficult for, parents to be, I know a lot of people in this room are parents, to be with their kids 24/7, friends or, parents are at work. You can give some examples of how, Parent ProTech might be able to help parents take that proactive approach even when they're not, not under the same roof with their child.
Let me just throw one out. Your child is playing on their gaming system. And the first question you might ask is, who are you playing with? And the answer is, my friend. Who's your friend? Do I know him? Just that simple question alone will help potentially get a predator away from your child.
That's a great example. Yeah, being just more involved and more educated about what they're up to. It's hard to keep up. The kids are more technical than the parents these days. So the best we can do is to try to keep up and be informed about their behavior.
But to stay on top of it, to really understand just what your child's doing. How many times have you seen a child sitting in a restaurant playing on a game because you want them to be satisfied and not, but you don't know who they're playing with. You don't know who they're talking to and how far it's gone. Because very simply, during those early sessions of playing on a game itself, they could be rerouted to another site and not know it until it's too late.
Let me just add, yeah, so, one of the things we see this all the time too, is that the parents don't even know what the apps are and what the technology is that a lot of the parents think social media is Facebook. If you talk to the kids, they're gonna tell you Facebook, that's what old people do. And so they don't even know, and a lot of it is digital files, it's photography, it's photos, it's all this, and a lot of it disappears right away. The parents don't even know that. They don't know how Snapchat works and all these other things that these kids are like this. They're sitting at a restaurant on it like they're talking about. So some of it is basic stuff, like who you're talking to and what are you doing, but the parents have no familiarity with the breadth, the scope of what's out there and what these kids have access to. They need to know what it is before they know how to best control it. And what we see all the time when we investigate these cases and talk to the parent, well, I had no idea. Well, this is what this is about. They need to have an idea and they need to educate themselves.
Going off that, you and your counterpart, all unfortunately press conferences and interviews talked about these disturbing cases that you got to investigate. Going off of that, what is your message to parents? Why should they care? Why do they need to, pay attention? And why are you encouraging them to?
Well, do you want your kid to be one of these stats? That's why you should care. Because they need to be responsible, and these kids don't know either. These kids are vulnerable. And these kids have no idea of what they're getting themselves into. And this digital world is the playground for these predators and for these people that are trying to do harm to these kids. And you may look at this AI nonsense where kids are talking online, and somebody that is supposedly, but it's not a somebody, it's AI, it's a bot, is telling this kid, oh, suicide's a great idea. Really? I mean, so this is the world that we live in today, and parents and caregivers, they need to be aware of all this. They're not.
Does ProTech have with anything that the kids are using, or is this solely an educational thing? How can parents maybe be a little less intimidated by what you're asking them to do? Keep an eye on the kids.
So we don't log in or do any of that. It is strictly educational, but it's also, down to Wi-Fi around parental controls at every single level. It's just overwhelming to be in front of any of that. So we try to make it easily digestible for non-tech and tech people alike. We're trying to cover everyone and support the needs of communities. So Pinellas County is monitoring 1,000 sex offenders. The bigger concern is because it's digital, it's not a van in your neighborhood. It's 500,000 online predators at any given time. So it's much broader than that. So yeah, we try to provide as much education as we can and the most current things possible. Tech is allowing for new apps and products to be rolled out, and the kids are the ones that are learning it faster than anybody else.
Let the kids know that they're on this ProTech and not really trying to snoop into their business as much as
We absolutely do. Yeah, certainly we're going with the schools. We want it to not be snooping at all. We want the parents and the children to be working together on this. The kids need to be educated to what's out there as much as the parents.
But what it also does is allow the parent. Oh, sure. What it also does is it allows the parent to better understand what they can do to help protect their child. So how do I set up parent controls? How do I put firewalls and block areas to keep their kids out of those sensitive areas? So it's really giving the parent the tools they need to have to really go in and make sure their child is safe. And then they can have better conversations with their child about what the real issues that they're dealing with.
But think about it, though. Do we care whether the kid thinks the parents are snooping? That's what parenting's all about. They should be snooping. Okay? That's what they need to do. Right. Right. And maybe they drive them off the social media, and maybe they go out to the playground and do what kids should be doing, as opposed to spending 11 hours a day on their devices. So, being a parent and providing oversight and heavy oversight and sometimes saying no is what the parents need to do. And by educating themselves, and hopefully some of the light bulbs go off and people understand what is really out there. And again, this is just from experience in dealing with all these cases and then talking to parents and what you hear, I didn't know, I had no idea. Well, now you have an opportunity to educate yourself, to enlighten yourself, and maybe show some of that parental responsibility and just say, no, get off the device, or seriously limit it. But snooping's good. Snoop all you want. The first part of that was what?
So when do you guys?
Yeah. Right. Well, if somebody has some concerns about it, they can call it, bullying, we deal with it in a number of aspects. I mean, sometimes, the schools deal with it all the time. And one of the things we do see, with that too, and some of it depends, we have a very, very robust now in Florida threat management process in the schools. We do it outside of the schools as well. And a lot of the bullying, the cyberbullying is that leads to kids acting out, and because they don't know how to cope with it, and they then it leads to self-harm. It leads sometimes to grievances, which result in harm towards others and threats and those things. So sometimes it's criminal, sometimes it's not. We want to catch this stuff early. We want to prevent it. That's the whole goal, and that's the goal of this, is education and stopping it as soon as possible. If somebody has any concerns, about it, they should report it, whether they report it to us, they report it to the schools, so we can take a look at it and figure out how best to deal with it.